Hey you guys, today I'm going to teach you my Photoscape X crash course. This is the quickest way to learn Photoscape X, so let's begin. First, get Photoscape X. The link is down in the description below. You're able to download it there. Photoscape X, in my opinion, is the best free photo editing software that is available on PC and Mac. Also, I feel that it's great for anyone who is doing graphic design, which would be pretty much any YouTuber or anyone who's needing to do some kind of text or art or adding images together. All sorts of things like that are great in Photoscape X, not just editing one singular photo. So with that in mind, let's begin. When you open up Photoscape X for the first time, you'll be greeted by this home screen. Here you'll be able to look at some different tutorials and tools that Photoscape X has put up on their YouTube channel. Basically, you click on it, it goes to their website, and you're able to watch the video there about removing blemishes or using the liquify tool or the clone stamp tool, things like that. What's unfortunate though is that Photoscape X has not been updated since 2020. Now, it was like the fall of 2020, but unfortunately it hasn't received any updates since then. Nonetheless, Photoscape X, in my opinion, is still the best free photo editing software for PC and Mac. So let's begin with the different tabs. We've got 9 or 8 different tabs up here on top. So we'll begin with the viewer and we'll just work our way through, and then I'll touch on some things at the end. So first of all, you have the viewer. This is where you're able to view your different photos. You can view just one, or you can view them side by side. You can, so you're able to compare them. But the way that you make the viewer work extremely well is basically you open up the viewer. You have all these different folders that you have to look through and find exactly what you want. But what's nice is that after a while, you can remember just to right click on a folder that you go to frequently, like the photos folder, or to a folder that you maybe have made yourself, and you're able to add it to favorites. When you add it to favorites, you're able to click over here to the favorites tab. And what's great is that in the favorites tab, you're able to pull up just what you want. So I can go over here to my Photoscape X templates, and I'm able to look at all the YouTube thumbnails that I've made using Photoscape X, and I've made a lot of them. Over here on the search function, over here on the right hand side, you're able to see you have photos. You can search between like landscapes or portraits or square photos, JPEG images or PNG images. You're able to look at unflagged, or a lot of different things in here. But what's nice is you are even able to look over here at project, which are project files. So you're able to search and sort in a lot of different ways to find exactly what you're looking for. So then you can open up that perfect image that you need to take a look at and that you need to edit. So you're able to hop in, and if you save things in projects, you're able to move them around after the fact. Just a quick little tidbit there. Super helpful. But if we hop back to the viewer here, what's great is that you're able to view all your different images that you've taken, that you've kind of stored. You can open up different folders real quick and easy. What's also nice is that you're able to sort them, which is great. You're also able to custom search for them because you're able to give photos a star rating between 0 and 5 stars, or able to flag them as a, looking at it, say, oh wow, this image is super great. I'm going to flag that as a flagged image. I want to keep that one. Ooh, this one's not as good. I'm going to reject this one. And then later when you're sorting, you can just say, hey, I just want all the flagged images, and just pulls up those flagged images. So I really like the viewer and all that it does. I made an entire video just bragging on how much I like their viewer. It's great. Now, hopping over to the editor in here, there's so much you can do in the editor. When you first open up the editor, what you're going to need to think of first is, do I just want to drag an image in and start working on it? Or do I want to make kind of a canvas and then add my image and add my different elements in there as well? You can do it either way. So you can drag an image directly in and begin working on it, or you can go to hit new, and then you're able to go to a preset if you'd like to do like, a 1000 by 1000 image, or if you want to do one that's going to be the size of an Instagram post or the YouTube thumbnail or YouTube channel art. So you can go and select these, and you're able to then start working from that blank canvas. So that's really nice to be able to have a good starting point. That's something that's very common in like Photoshop and other places. But you can just drag and drop your image in, and you can just start editing it. So let's just pick an image here. Yeah, we'll pick this one. And then what's great is you're able to, here in the Edit tab, you've got Edit, and then Color, Film, Light, Frame, Insert, Tools. I've made images on all these different tabs in here, but basically this is where you're going to be doing things like cropping your image. It'll be the place where you go and you adjust like your color and the balance there. You're able to do a lot of different adjustments and effects and be able to just craft the image to exactly how you like. Really, the longer you spend messing with these different tools, the better you're going to be at Photoscape X. But it does take time. There's so much you're able to do in here. You're also able to do things like rotating the image, things like that. Next, you have the color tab. This is where you're able to adjust and fine tune like, oh, the color temperature of the image. If you want the image to be warmer, or if you want the image to be even cooler, or if you want to add contrast or take it away, turn on the HDR, see what you like with it. And what's awesome is there's the mask tool. The mask tool where you can say, hey, I just want it to affect this section of the image. You can set it up that way where it just affects that section of the image, not the entire section. So then you can say, hey, I want to really brighten up my face. If you wanted to do that, you can, and it just brightens that section of what you're working on. So that's something that's really good to be able to remember. You can work on the entire image, or you can just localize to certain points of the image. So we also have the film effect. This just goes and puts a filter on everything. There's the light effect, which does the same thing. It's kind of a light filter, but there's more adjustment sliders. There's frames, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Then there's the insert tab. The insert tab opens up and you end up with these 6 options. You can insert things like stickers, other images, text, which is just a video all in itself, because you can insert so many different types of text and styles and gradients, lots of different fonts, as many as you want actually, but you're able to also insert filters and different magnifications. So like there's a blur if you want to blur out a person's face in an image, super quick and easy to do that, and you can adjust the strength of it to really make sure it's blurred. But insert is super helpful. What's also nice is that there's a layers section where you're able to make sure to keep an eye on all the different layers so you don't get them all mixed up, and you can make sure they all stay where they're supposed to stay. So that's really nice. Over here in the tools tab, you have things like draw or erase, or like the spot healing brush. If you notice there's something wrong in your image, let's say I zoom in on my image here and I realize, oh man, there's some sticks or twigs that are in the image that I don't want there. I can go and I can select, and it'll do its best to try to remove what it thinks I want removed. Sometimes it works really well, other times it doesn't, but it's a really nice way to be able to remove some things that might be just messing up your image a little bit. But yeah, definitely check out all those different tools in the Edit tab. It's a huge section in Photoscape X. But definitely check that out. Another thing that's nice is there's the Cutout tab. This is an entire tab dedicated to cutting something out of an image. So let's say I want to cut the background out of this image, this whole sky here, and just leave me and let's say the ground. What's great, and I've made an entire video on this, but basically you're able to go in and you're able to just erase what you want taken out, and then you can just leave you, or leave whatever you want to have left in your image. There's ways to just click and select and delete certain things or get rid of certain parts, and then there's other ways where you're able to just brush over certain sections and make sure you really get exactly what you want. You're also able to add some things back if you wanted to add things back later. What's nice is that when you have this all done, and you have it completed right to where you want it to be, you can actually right click on the image itself. You can just copy it to clipboard, and you can go back to your editor. You can just drop it in to another image. So go into images here, I can go to paste, and I can just paste me back into the image. Now this can become super helpful, or if you want to save it out, you definitely can, but it's nice to have that much flexibility in the software. Now going back to the Cutout tab, when you're done saving and you want to save it properly, make sure you go to save, and when you save it out, make sure it's saving as a PNG file type. That means it saves with the transparency and you don't lose all your hard work of cutting the image out. Other things here, we're just going to breeze through real quick. Batch editing is like, let's say you have a bunch of images that are almost all exactly the same, and you say, hey, I just want to crop all of them this certain way, or I want to add this film effect to every single one of them. You can do that, and then it will apply that effect to every single one of them, and then you can just save them all out at once. Saves a lot of time. Not too many people use it unless if you're really doing a ton of images and you just don't have the time to edit them all individually. There's Collage, basically just drag and drop images, get them however you'd like them, and then save it out. Combine is if you were going to add a bunch of images together and you were going to save them all out in a certain way. And you can tile them however you'd like and do different things, but that's just something that can be helpful. The Create GIF tab is like if you were going to drop a couple images in and they were going to switch back and forth, kind of like a GIF. So usually you pick similar images and it kind of tells a story, but you can change the duration, things like that. Something fun to mess with. The print tab isn't perfect in Photoscape X. I'd encourage you to actually save your images out and print them using either what comes with your computer or whatever you find most helpful. But the print tab, in a pinch, can print out images. Just sometimes it's kind of finicky. So that's your mileage may vary on that. And then at the very end, you have the Tools tab, which is basically a helpful thing to be able to do a quick screen capture, do your color picker, and to rename images if you need to. Color picker is great because you're able to go through and select just exactly the right color that you want. Hit spacebar, and then we'll be able to save that code so you're able to drop it in to your next project. Super easy. So, and I'll just show you that real quick. We're able to just paste that code in, and then boom, you got that color for your entire project. So hopefully that was a helpful, quick crash course in Photoscape X. If you guys want more details or have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below, but definitely feel free to leave a like on this video if it was helpful, and I'll see you all in the next one. Welcome to 2022. It's going to be a crazy year. Bye.